afternoon, everyone. I am here with Dr. Ellie Ligate, Senior Lecturer, Researcher, and Consultant of Biodiversity Conservation and Management at Sokoine University of Agriculture in Morogoro, and Dr. Frank Mbago, Biodiversity Export of Flora, the Director of Organic and Herbal Company Limited, a retired curator of the Herbarium at the University of Dar es Salaam. These two gentlemen have some very interesting information to share with you, and so I'm going to just briefly ask them a little bit about their background. So first, we're going to start with Dr. Legate. Concerning your background, just give me an idea. Why is EIA important to investors in Tanzania? And that's environmental impact assessment for those who do not know.
Okay, thank you. Environmental impact assessment is very important and is one of the requirements according to the international standards, but also the national standards. In this case, the environmental law of 2004 is emphasizing about carrying out environmental impact assessment for any investments which are carried out in Tanzania. And we are carrying environmental impact assessment mainly to identify the environmental problems or environmental challenges. And through that, we are going to be able to advise some of the mitigation measures in order to ensure that by the end of the project, then environmental problems are mitigated, and therefore we want to have sustainable investments. In this case, we have to identify environmental challenges which are related to biophysical environment and also environmental challenges which are related to biodiversity. And in this case, based on the background that I have in biodiversity, we prefer to identify environmental challenges which are related to species of biological conservation concern. And these species, they fall in different categories based on the national laws, but also based on the international laws, and also some international standards and regulations.
And this is not just in agriculture. This is also if you're considering mining, if you're trying to get involved in any industry in Tanzania, you're required to have an environmental impact assessment, correct?
Sure. Any investment which is related to being invested on the land of Tanzania, you must undertake environmental impact assessment. So whether it's mining, whether it's construction of roads, railway lines, whether it's construction of pipelines, everything you mention, it requires to undergo through environmental impact assessment approval, and then the project will take off.
Wow, fantastic. The other question that I have about this is I'm mostly concerned with your agricultural background. You guys together have over 100 years of knowledge of all the herbs and the biodiversity of Tanzania. And I find your research extremely impressive. And I'm going to share with you Dr. Mbago, one of his books, which will be available soon. This is his field guide to edible plants and nutrition of Tanzania. And this is one of his older publications. This is 104 plants for spices, fruits, and traditional medicines from Zanzibar. So I'm just going to briefly switch to Dr. Mbago. What is the potential of Tanzania regarding the investment of production of herbs and medical plants? If you can give us a brief idea of what is that, does that look like for investment and the potential for investment in Tanzania?
Yeah, Tanzania itself as a big country also, it has got a very high diversity of different types of the plants. The diversity I'm talking of in terms of also different ethnic groups, and each ethnic groups they are using the medicinal plants which are surrounding their environment. And lucky enough that we have more than 127 different ethnic groups in Tanzania which they are using traditional medicine.
Wow.
In fact, I don't want to call them traditional medicine. It's the medicine because
right. Right. The Bible says, "I've
it's,
given you."
the medicine. We shouldn't
Yes.
just because the life have just been developing, by using those stuff, and that is what you're being made to use of them. So, what opportunities are there is quite very big because we have different type of vegetation types in the country, and each vegetation types carries a diversity of plant species. Can you imagine that every tribe they use different plants which
Wow.
are surrounding them?
Wow.
And yes,
So it's not just, Tanzania has an abundance of neem plants, and it's used widely for medicinal healing, medicinal practices, but it's also used outside of Tanzania, and I think that's a great opportunity for if an investor was looking at investing in neem in Tanzania. Because it's so wide and diverse and available everywhere. And I think that's one of the things that people need to look at as well. And that's just one product. But what are the other things that you think are commercially viable for an investor if they were looking to get involved in herbal medicines and products in Tanzania?
yeah, normally there are so many types of groups, but which I'm going to mention, those are the ones which are available in abundance. Because the former speaker, Dr. Eli, he mentioned, we are dealing with environmental impact assessment. One of the area which we are looking is for any activity which we are going to use on the land, we have to know the resources, how much is there. Mm-hmm. So it's like for the medicinal plants also, most of the plants are used as a medicinal plants, but for commercially, we have to select the one which are abundance.
Right.
So we have the data of all the plants which are available here for medicinal, and which one is easily to trade and which one is easily to get.
Wow. So if an investor was looking to get involved in herbal medicine import-export or herbal product import-export, you guys would be the experts to contact because you have the knowledge, the information of the abundance of the plant that would be commercially viable. Is that correct?
Yes. Things
Okay.
like a guava,
Yes.
Guava, because these things are widely growing there.
Yes.
So it's like when we are doing the environmental impact assessment, we are
Yeah.
trying to see a diversity of the plants which are used by the human. We
Yes.
want everything to be here, but we don't want to lose
The biodiversity.
the biodiversity because it's like, we have medicinal plants.
Okay.
So we don't want to invest a project in a place where at the end of the day, then you end up with the people who doesn't have the medicine or they cannot use
Right.
their own
Very good
surrounding
point.
natural resources.
Very good point. So not overuse of the resources.
Yeah, it's just
Okay, I see.
sustainability.
Sustainability. Beautiful. Well said. The other thing I wanted to know, so let's say, for example, I was interested in coming to Tanzania to invest in garlic or ginger farming. Would your company be the company that I would come to find out where I should plant, how much I should plant? Would you guys be that person, or how is that done? What is your process like?
Yeah, you will surely we are the right people for that because we know where the ginger, those stuff were grown, and how much is there, and we know what type of soil is suitable for that. There are the existing ones which are in the small scale, but again, if you want to do it in a larger scale, we know which land is suitable,
is viable. Right.
Because the country is so big and the land is less utilized, I could say.
Right. But what about soil richness though? Is it good quality soil? Is it fertile?
Yeah, the soil is fertile. Depends what you want and where. As I said, there's a diverse of vegetation types and the soil also, because soil is the one which is determining what kind of plant is growing there.
Okay.
So we have, yes.
Dr. Ellie would like to add something, though.
Okay, thank you. First of all, we should know that Tanzania is very diverse in terms
Yes.
of ecological zones.
Yes.
And based on the different ecological zones that we have, we know what type of a crop does well where exactly.
Yes.
So that richness of information is very important, especially
Yes.
if we want to invite someone or we are welcoming someone to invest in Tanzania. So we are going to give advisory service specifically to where what kind of crop
Products.
can do better. Like the issue of ginger, we know some places, we know the regions where ginger is doing well, and something which is also very important to mention is that the land in Tanzania is still virgin. So many places the soil fertility is still good, is
Wow.
promising for cultivation of a crop, and that we sometimes do not need even the use of inorganic fertilizers.
Wow.
And therefore we can go agriculture which is organic,
Wow.
based on the fact that the land is still virgin and it is still containing high organic matter to support production, especially of horticultural crops,
That-
of which ginger is one of the horticultural crops.
Wow. Yes, definitely ginger is one of the cash crops of the world. So basically, you're saying that Tanzania has the virgin land with good quality soil that has all of the minerals intact that we
Most of
can.
the big vast land of the Tanzania is still untouched,
Wow.
you know.
Yeah.
Wow. So there's a great potential and opportunity for people who are looking to get involved in organic, herbal, nutraceutical products in production,
Perfect.
processing, and export in Tanzania.
Sure.
So if someone was looking
Yeah.
for an import-export opportunity, they would begin with you guys working through the entire farm process, land preparation, identification, how to plant, when to plant, how much to plant. You guys would be the advisors for that.
Definitely, we can give advisory services regarding production of medicinal plants in the country, and that is why we have a company which is
Wow.
related to production of organic products.
Organic.
And so our interest is to ensure that we promote production of organic products, and we should avoid the use of inorganic
Wow.
materials. And so
Wow.
we are prepared for that, and we are ready to support whether they are local or international investors who come to invest in these areas.
Wow.
And also we give a good guidance on how to acquire, you know, to do all this kind of business.
The entire
and the
process.
paperwork.
The paperwork. And you
Yeah.
also have a legal consultant that is attached to your company that helps with this process.
Exactly.
Right.
To give you
Oh.
the right way to
The perfect way to do
the
it.
quick way, and then you
Beau-
can start with what you want to do.
Magnificent. So I'm also excited to announce that we are collaborating, the East Africa Seaweed Company is collaborating with Dr. Eli Legate and Dr. Frank Mbago with the Organic Herbal Company. We're going to be hosting an event here in Dar es Salaam on the 18th of May 2024, where we'll be hosting workshops on trading, processing, exporting, growing, branding, packaging, all that information concerning organic, natural products. We're going to have vendors, we're going to have workshops, and we're going to have speakers to share on the potential and the opportunities concerning natural products in Tanzania. I hope to see you there, and I will be doing follow-up videos on this. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else to
Welcome,
add?
everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe something to add is like we also provide services regarding the soil assessments and therefore the soil quality.
Yes.
Before someone is investing, then we can undertake that. And so we advise on proper management of the soil. We advise on proper management of the crops, the agronomic components, processing, and sometimes even helping on identification of local markets. Because we are Tanzanians, we
Yes.
know all the corners, we know the customers. So we welcome all the people who are interested to invest in agriculture.
Yes, Tanzanians
And-
as well as foreigners.
Yes, and then we promote covering the entire value chain of crop production and also medicinal plants in production
Beautiful.
and services in the country.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you very much. And we'll see you guys on May the 18th. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Karibu. Bye bye.